So for the first one, which of the following are logically equivalent? Okay, so it'd be the conditional and the contrapositive. I kind of gave it away earlier, but anyways, good memory then, good memory. Statement represented by this, if it's not P, then not Q, right? That's what we call the inverse. So anything that has inverse in it, you're fine. And then complete the following truth tables. I should probably block some of that for now so that it's not too much, right? So basically what I'll do is I'll do it this way. You get 1 mark per column. So let's forget about the first column, first of all. So if you make a mistake, then obviously it's a -1. It's even if you're off a little bit, like you have to have it exactly like this to get the 1 mark. So if it's and, then you have to look for the 2 that are true. That's your true, everything else is false. That's why I circled the T. You don't have to do that. But that's a 1 marker there. And then 1 mark for this, it's or. Right? So P or, I'm looking for the 2 instances where both parts are false. It's not an if-then statement. It's I'm doing this or that. Right? So false here, everything else is true. So that's where you get your 2nd mark from. Okay. Same with the conditionals here. I bet you, hold on, I bet you got this wrong. I was rushing probably. Q to P, T to F, that's, oh no, I got that right. Yeah, I'm good. So that Q to P, that's the way the sentence is going. So you got to start here and see where do I go from true to false. And it's this case right here. So that's false. You get a mark for this column, and that's that. Okay. Everything else is true. P to Q, you look at, right? This will be going from true to false. If you go from P to Q, then this is false. Everything else is true. So that's your other mark there. Okay. And now it gets messy, right? But you get. I was gonna say you get half for this, half for this, because it's really just changing the values before, and then I give you 1, 1, and 1. Okay. So please stop me if so not Q. So I grab my Q and I change everything, right? And then I go not P. So I gotta go P and change that. Sounds wrong, right? I got to go P. Anyways. But then you go from not Q to not P. So that's why I set it up like that to make it a little easier. The only instance where you go from true to false is that 2nd case. Everything else is true. Okay. This is where I would be, okay, here you have to be careful when you mark, it makes it complicated. If you made a mistake here, I would take off the half mark. But then I would have to actually go by your mistake and see if it's consistent thereafter, right? So it could be that for you it's like the 3rd case here that is false because the way you've done it. So I would look into that a little more before just marking it wrong. Okay. P and not Q. So you got to kind of just think of this one and this one, right? And the and, you're looking for false and false. No, you're looking for true and true, sorry. T and T, that's my true case right there. Everything else is false. Okay. And then if and only if, you got to check, it's between P and Q, right? So you got rid of these ones here. And so the only time you're going from true to false this way is that 2nd case, so I make that false. And then if I go this way, it's that 1st case, true to false, that is my false. So everything else is true. Notice this. Maybe this is going to be easier for you. If it's like an if and only if, both of them have to be either F's or T's to be true. So if that helps you on your study sheet, that is another way to know what to do. The reason why I use the T to F because we already know that from our conditional statements, right? The if then. So I kind of just stuck with that. And so there you go. So 4 marks for C. And it is what it is, right? It is what it is. I feel like that's something we're going to have to just practice. So I'm going to throw it in from time to time so you don't forget about it. Okay? Gina says that if it is 30 degrees above 0, then I will go to the beach. What's the inverse? Inverse is simply saying not to both parts, right? So if it is not 30 degrees above 0, then I will not go to the beach. So that's what I am, right? She will not be going to the beach or something like that. As long as it's coherent, we're good. B, write the converse of this statement. You take this and you flip it, right? If Gina goes to the beach, then it is 30 degrees above 0. Okay, so you're literally just flipping the P and the Q parts. And then last one, if an animal can swim, then it is a fish. Is that always true? If not, state a counterexample. That is false. You can talk about a beaver, a duck, a goose, anything that swims and it's not a fish. You get the mark. I will start changing these a little bit. I will make them a bit more mathematical. Like if the shape is a triangle, then all angles add up to 180. If it's a triangle, then all interior angles add up to 180. We know that that's true, right? So things like that. So you just have to think when I throw those at you. But I want to start with these first so you can wrap your head around it, and then I'll start doing the other ones, okay? That's it. So it's out of 13. So add it up.